Hi, this is part 4 of our fall themed tumbler tutorial. We're going to start right where we left off and seal in all of these leaves right here. When you're working with chunky glitter like this, before you go to epoxy it, it's really important that you seal it. I don't know why, but a lot of times the chunky glitter, it'll actually repel your epoxy. And we definitely don't want that to happen whenever we go to add that on. So I'm going to do the same method that I used for the glitter layer that's underneath this. You have to be careful because some of it's going to fall off. So you kind of just got to go slow, make sure it's laying flat, and that you don't get bubbles. So this might take a couple minutes, but that's okay. We want to make sure we get it nice and sealed. Last thing we want is to have any fish eyes with our epoxy. So you can see it does take a moment, but it's worth it. There we go. You can even see like it pooling a little bit with the Mod Podge I'm using. Alright, and don't worry about it flaking off, because if you do end up with spots where it came off, we can just go ahead and add some more a little bit later. So I'm going to go and kind of just pat it really gently, trying to keep all the leaves in place the best that we can. Like I said, it's okay if some come out. Gentle. But we really got to make sure it's all sealed in. And when we are finished with this step, I am going to try to put on some of those gold flakes I keep talking about. And actually, if there are any bald spots, I'll just put them right in there. I think it'll be a nice accent, and then it'll cover up anything that we don't want to be on the finished cup. So this is like kind of a slow, tedious process, but we're getting there. All right, a little bit more this way. Not too many are falling off, so I'm happy about that. It's always such a relief once you get that sealer on, and you don't have to worry about things falling off or going out of place. There we go. Over halfway now. I'm gonna just go and try to get this the best I can. Pretty slow. And as even as you can get it, the glue. These foam brushes, I'll tell you, I really use it for all of my Mod Podge applications. It just seems like it helps me apply pretty evenly, no matter what I'm crafting. I even use it sometimes to apply acrylic paint. There we go. And if any leaves fall out of place, just push them right back. Just push them right back. Alright, last little section it looks like. Just a couple extra pats and then we'll be on to the next step. If I'm layering glitter like we have been with this tumbler, I like to use my sealer coat of the previous layer as like my adhesive coat for the next layer. Nice. So all of this, once it dries, it should be pretty sealed in. I'm just going back through to brush it. So if there's any like clumps of Mod Podge, or if there's any like air bubbles from me patting it, that they will even out. And remember, we do like that coffee swirl look, so if you do have spots that the glitter is not, that's okay. You'll see the swirl pattern. Okay, and we won't really be able to tell if we need to add more leaves until all of this dries. But for now, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna set this to the side. These flakes, I truly am not sure where I got them, like I said in our first video, but you can find craft flakes on Amazon. They come in like these little foil pieces, and you have to be careful because they're not like sticky themselves, but they're so light and frail, they're almost hard to work with. A lot of people, they'll use tweezers with these, but I do prefer my fingers. I feel like I have more control over that. So let's try to add a couple. I know down here around the rim, I felt like I wanted to add some. You're gonna kind of have to experiment and see what method works for you. For me, like I said, I like to use my finger to put it into place, and then I will go back with the foam brush once I get it where I want it. So that looks pretty good. And really, I just want to add like little accents. I don't want it solid. I want to be able to see a lot of my glitter. Oh, I gotta put this tumbler down. See this big chunk right here? We don't want all that, right? So I'll pull out a couple of little chunks that I can work with, and then I'll bring the tumbler back into the view. But yeah, these are getting kind of all balled up, but that's okay. I got a couple here I can work with. They're really pretty. All right, so we got that first bit on. Looks really good. Let me find another little spot. We'll do one on the bottom. Just pat it in. I'll do another one, maybe over here. That looks like that was missing some leaves. Just little accents, kind of complements the leaves, goes with our fall theme. Adds a little extra shine. You can never have too much. I do like these flakes in particular because they do have bigger pieces. Those are a little bit easier to work with, in my opinion. But you really don't want it too big when you're adding them, because you don't want it to take away from what we've already done. So like here, I'm just gonna kind of try to ball it up a little bit, but still get it flat on the cup. You can just add them really wherever you want to. There's no right or wrong place. Your hands will get sticky. It's a lot of how I do my crafting. I have sticky hands at the end, but that's okay. This I'll probably put a little bit over here. Just pat it down. If you want it to look like more like veins, you just kind of scrunch it together. And that's where you can bring in your brush, and that helps you scrunch the foil even more, so it looks like little lines in the cup instead of like a blob. I'm also going to come around to the ones I already put on just to seal them in a little bit better. Getting that one on the bottom. I think it's looking really great. This over here I'd need to get. Wonderful. All right. A little more. And see how it broke? I think I'm gonna end up liking that little vein there. So I got a lot put down there. Might add a little bit more in here, I'm thinking. Let me grab this, maybe over here. I'm gonna take my foam brush with a little bit of Mod Podge, tap it in, and then use the dry part to soak up the extra. So it lays flat in there. And really the magic happens once this all dries, because then you'll see how pretty it looks without all the glue stains on there. That's looking great. I want another little piece. I'm trying to keep the smaller pieces more towards the top. So I'm going to take this piece, probably pull it apart a little bit. See what we got going on maybe in here. And that leaf landed right on top of that, which is going to look great. Perfect. So the idea is you're not laying them down in any particular shape or pattern. You just want them to kind of fill in. Just like little speckles. Alright, this is a bigger piece. Let's see. Maybe too big. Let's use the smaller one. Up here, I think. That's probably good. Might do another one around the rim. Kind of keep our theme of keeping it heavy towards the bottom. A little bit lighter as we work our way up. I like that. Wonderful. Let's see. See if I can get, that might be good. I want like a little, yeah, a little tiny bit there. I'm going to put a couple of speckles about. There we go. That looks great. Okay, so I think we're gonna let this dry, and then I will be back once this all dries, and we'll add that vinyl decal.